especially in a place like Boston where we have a lot of biotech companies. And as the economy changes, at least start talking with your lawyer.
How do you navigate executive compensation, business interest, and substantial assets during divorce?
Yes, this is an area that I find fascinating because it's always changing, especially in a place like Boston where we have a lot of biotech companies and startup and financial services companies and things like that. So we see the executive compensation. It is complicated and it requires reading through a lot of documents, whether it restricted stock unit grants or the plans that are governing them, or the compensation letters that someone might get when they accept a position of employment. But employment contracts for high-level executives can get quite complicated. I also handle cases, business valuation, maybe when someone who is going through a divorce owns a piece or a large piece of a private company, and we need to figure out what that piece is worth. I think it's fascinating to learn how different businesses make money, and each one is a little bit different. And as the economy changes and going through COVID or coming out of COVID, and as different industries shift, what companies are worth can shift as well. We often bring in business valuation experts to help understand what a business is worth, because there are standards set by those professionals on how the proper way to do that. And so we rely on those professionals to help me advise my clients on what the company.
Thank you so much. That's quite vast though.
Yeah, and I've worked on restaurants, dental practices, construction companies, landscaping companies, financial services companies, and it's interesting how everybody makes money or loses money. Sometimes it's hard to make money in different industries, but it's always interesting.
Thank you. So, what mistakes do you see people make early in high asset divorces, and how can they avoid them?
I think it's a good idea to get a lawyer lined up early. Sometimes people think that if they can just sit down with their spouse and work out an agreement at the kitchen table, that it will be over quickly, and that's what they're hoping to do. But in a divorce situation, when you're dividing assets in particular, you get one shot at that. So once the judge approves the final settlement agreement, it is very difficult to undo that or to have the judge look at the asset division again. So it's important that it's done right the first time. And with high asset or complex asset cases, that will involve some valuation work or some review by professionals of what the assets are. It's very rare that people themselves know exactly what they own, or maybe they think they do, but they don't understand how those assets are treated in the legal context. There may be case law about how to divide equity compensation, or there may be case law about how to value a piece of real estate that you're not aware of as a layperson. So before you start negotiating with your spouse, at least start talking with your lawyer about, they can help you identify the assets that need to be properly or more carefully valued, so that you're not accidentally waiving your right to something that's worth a lot of money because from your perspective it wasn't worth anything or something like that. Sometimes people get tripped up on pension and interests in pensions. I don't know how they treat this in the UK, but in the US, you can divide a pension between two spouses in the context of a divorce. So that's really hard to understand what that pension might be worth today or down the road. And sometimes I've seen people say, well, I said that he could keep his pension because he really wants it, without understanding how that moves all the other puzzle pieces around in the rest of the marital estate. So
thank you so much for that clarification. Be safe and be positive. And don't forget to check out our social media handles. Thank you. Bye for now.